Welcome to Get Paid for Your Pad. We are your hosts, Jasper Rivers and Eric Miller. And today we are talking about how you can scale your Airbnb business the right way. What's up, Eric?
What is up, brother? And for everyone who is watching this video, I am currently working out of one of our Airbnbs for the next couple of days. So don't mind the weird setup I got here.
Yeah, and if you're listening to this and you're interested to kind of see where we are, go ahead and search for Get Paid for Your Pad on YouTube. Because we are recording all these podcast episodes, so you can actually see us talk. You can see our faces. So, and then subscribe to the YouTube channel, of course. But yeah, Eric, you're staying at the historic schoolhouse, one of our cabins in Idewald. Is it snowing out there yet? Or
No. We don't get a lot of snow in Idlewild. Like maybe a couple of times a year, we'll get some snow. It's very rare to get large amounts. But no, it's beautiful. It's like 70 degrees right now. I'm in shorts. It's awesome. But yeah, we're working in, so the whole village is fully occupied, which is pretty cool. Meeting guests from all around California, which is amazing. Everyone loves it. Also getting some really amazing feedback on where we can improve in the property. And then obviously this is just a really good hosting hack, is like to stay in your own properties for multiple days. This is the second time I've stayed in the schoolhouse, and by now it's like I have a whole list of items to upgrade. We bought all brand new linens, we're buying all brand new kitchen gear, we're cleaning up everything because we're able to, one of the first things that I noticed when I checked in here was I spent about 2 hours cleaning this up, was the internet. So like I walked in and the property was cool. It was nice. But right above the fireplace, which is like the main feature of the house, the living room, we have 3 internet boxes and wires all over the place. And I'm just like, man, this just does not feel good checking into a place and seeing chaotic wires and these massive boxes all over the place. So I moved it all. Nothing crazy, but I moved it to a place in a closet, set up the wires, neatly placed the wires there, and cleaned up that whole space. And literally last night, Samantha walked in the property into the house. She's like, it just feels better in here. I don't know what it is. It feels better. And I pointed out that we moved that. And she's like, that's it. That whole thing was tossing me off. It didn't make me feel good seeing all these wires and boxes all over the place. So I know that's a very small tip, but I just noticed by staying in the house, I get super familiar with the individual property, get to meet the guests, get their feedback in live time. But then you can fix these small things that will dramatically impact the experience in the property. So for everyone who is hosting now, just do some, like, what are they called? Staycations, whatever it is. It's like, just stay at your own properties for a couple of days and figure out where you can increase the experience for your guests.
Yep. Yeah, that's good advice. I remember when I stayed at my place in Colombia, I had a similar thing where I had a list of like 5 tiny little things. It's just like a door that doesn't open nicely or something. Like it's the little details that can really affect the experience.
100%.
Cool, man. Well, I'm jealous. I'm looking forward to being up there in Idlewild at some point probably next year. But yeah, let's talk about skill. So I know this is one of your favorite subjects. Our Legends X students have literally just gone through our skill pillar, which is the third pillar in our program. We are wrapping up the program next week. So next week we'll provide some more takeaways and learning lessons from our second class. But one thing that you worked on a lot when we were building this program is the property abundance plan, right? It's a really powerful plan that our students use to find new properties, right? So I'd love to dive into that plan a little bit more.
Yeah, man. The property abundance plan, that's something that took me a bit to develop. I was developing that. The whole idea was, how do I compete when I was growing my management company in San Diego? How do I compete with the big companies like Sonder and Vacasa and all of these new companies that were moving in San Diego? I'm like, I got to figure out a way to kind of stay at the top of mind for everybody in my network who thinks of Airbnb. They think of me, right? Ask me questions, bring me opportunities, whatever it is, help you solve problems. I wanted to create a process because I couldn't compete with these bigger companies with the marketing dollars that they had. They had sales teams, they had big marketing budgets, Facebook ads, they had sales teams calling every single property manager, every single property for rent, all of this, and saying, hey, we'll rent your property or we'll manage your property on Airbnb. So I recognized I couldn't compete with that. So what I wanted to do was like, what can I do now? What's the one thing that nobody can compete with, regardless of how much money you toss at it? And it all comes down to relationships, right? So like if I'm able to build a process where my influence in the industries or in the marketplace is growing, and my name becomes more powerful than a Facebook ad or a phone call, then I actually have a level up on these bigger companies that have all these major ad budgets and big teams and all of that, right? So I started developing that as I was growing my property management company. Obviously, we fine-tuned it for the Legends X program, which has been amazing for the students that have been implementing it. It's really cool to watch them implement this and get a result from it. But now we're using that for our own properties, our own business, FreeWild, to find our next project. And yes, we're already looking for our next project, which is amazing. So the whole concept at the end of the day, hey, you know what? Let's touch on the survey that we sent out, right? So we sent out a very basic survey to our entire list, asking just a handful of questions to understand what is the most important thing to host nowadays in their business. And I was kind of shocked to see the response, right? Because like we're in the mindset of like people want their time back, they want lifestyle freedoms, they want to, they want to enjoy what they're doing more in their business. But 62% of hosts responded saying that they want more listings and higher profits.
Yes.
Super simple.
Yep.
Super simple. Right. More listings, higher profits, right? It's like screw systems, screw, like enjoyment of what we're doing. We want more listings and more profits, right? Which is totally fine. The second most important to hosts is the fulfillment, right, behind their business, the enjoyment behind what they're doing, what they're working on. Number 3 is then lifestyle. So really, really interesting. And it makes our job easier because we can teach how to get more listings at a higher profit margin, right? Like that's super simple. Those are ones and zeros. Very simple how to do it. So the first step behind this and what our students are going through now, or what they're implementing now, I should say, is what we call the property abundance plan. And if you strip it all down, essentially what it comes down to is creating a process in your business where you develop rhythms and habits behind your marketing. Rhythms and habits behind how you communicate about your marketing. So it breaks down monthly, weekly, and daily actions to spread the word about your business, what you do, your services, reach out to your network, grow your network every single day, every single week, every single month, in a process to where the ultimate goal is to be at the top of mind for everybody in your marketplace. When they think Airbnb, they think of you, right? And they're going to contact you to solve a problem, ask you a question, or give you an opportunity. Yeah. Very simple.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think one of the most powerful lessons in that plan as well is we don't want our students to be on like 7 different, channels and platforms trying to create, trying to get that traction, but really focus on one channel and really dominate that channel. Right. Yeah. And that's something that we've learned. It's so much more effective to do it that way.
You have to, man. Like it's so easy for people nowadays to kind of be on everything from Instagram to TikTok to, Facebook groups and like all this stuff trying to find business, and they don't get any traction. We learned this the hard way in overnight success, right? Trying to be everywhere. Someone just recently posted it and I was like, yes, man, I love that you posted this. But the famous saying is, if you are everywhere, you are nowhere. Mm-hmm. Right. And it makes a lot of sense because you can't gain any traction. So one of the goals in the property abundance plan is building these rhythms and habits in one channel that you can dominate, right? Yep. And that's the one thing. That's your one thing. And doesn't mean that you're going to be on that one thing forever. It might be if you want to do that. But you build that traction channel. And then once you have the traction, you can explore other options.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And, I think what's really important as well is to choose a channel that you actually enjoy. Right. Because I think back when you were doing those TikTok videos and it was kind of fun in the beginning. Right. But I was like, I don't know how long you can keep up with that.
I didn't enjoy it, man. I signed on to TikTok. I didn't sign into the app. I looked at my handle on the web page, and we're still we have 26,000 followers on there. And that was one of the fastest that we've ever grown a channel before. But man, I do not enjoy the process of TikTok. It's like low level content that is not necessarily driving to our direct avatars problem. It's just low level stuff. And it works for a lot of people. There's a lot of Airbnb influencers that are on TikTok that have millions of followers and millions of views. And that's fine. That's their thing. But man, it was soul sucking for me. So even though we were getting that traction, I was like, man, I can't do this anymore. I'm out. And I think that's a big part too of marketing, is to understand where do you thrive the most and what brings you energy. Because when you speak to the whole goal behind creating content is to speak to your avatar. So if we're trying to find investors, we're trying to find property owners to give us their properties for us to manage, we want to be able to authentically communicate what we do better than anybody else in the world and what we love, what our passion is within short-term rentals. If you're doing that in a process that's painful for you, that is more of a struggle for you to develop, your avatar, the client that you're going after is going to pick that up. Mm-hmm. And, that's what I noticed with TikTok. So we literally got off of everything. We're like, all right, let's take a break. What do we love doing the most? Where do we get energy by creating and helping our avatars solve the biggest problems? And we learn two things: writing daily emails and doing as many podcasts as possible. We could do those things all day long, and that would give us energy. That's solving our avatar's problem. And we're speaking to the masses, right? So I encourage everybody who's trying to grow a marketing plan, a property abundance plan for their short-term rental businesses, choose that one market channel that you love, create your daily, weekly, and monthly rhythms and habits on educating your avatar on what you do, helping them solve a problem, and then asking for the business, right? 3 steps to it. And we just do this over and over and over again. Before you know it, the goal is properties are coming to you, leads are coming to you. The way that we found this property was through rhythms and habits, right? It took me a year to build a relationship with one of the top realtors in this marketplace by consistently sending him emails, updates, what we're looking for, reaching out, all of that. And out of nowhere, hey, we got this property, Idlewild, it's for sale. It's going to move fast. Do you want to see it? And a week later, we had it under contract, right? Yeah. So stuff works. You got to be consistent, and you got to have fun with it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and a couple of things on that. Number one, it doesn't matter what business model you're after, right? Whether you own, you manage, or you do master leases, it's still the same principle that applies.
100%.
And number two is what I think is really important. We have to enjoy it because the results come through consistent action taking over the long term. This is not something that we can do in 1 week or a couple of weeks. Like, this is something that we have to consistently do for months to really get a lot of traction. So if you don't enjoy it, there's no way you can keep up with it.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, that was, if someone goes and finds me on TikTok, you'll see the transition between us figuring out TikTok as like a good channel to talk to all Airbnb hosts that are looking to grow their business. In the beginning, it was exciting, and we were creating content, trying to figure out like, hey, how do people consume content on TikTok? How do we communicate to our avatar of an Airbnb host looking to scale? So the excitement from those videos, and then the videos of me walking through Strawberry Creek Village and trying to talk to and create content that converts, you can see it that I just do not enjoy this process, right? But you also have to have the confidence to pull the plug on something that you may be getting traction on that you're not enjoying. Because I recognize, I'm like, you probably asked me the question. Well, you did ask me the question. Do you see yourself doing this, creating this content for the next 2 years? And I'm like, man, I can't see myself doing this again, ever. Like, I don't want to do TikTok videos. It's not fun, man. I'm like, all right, and we made that decision. Let's pull it. And we have 26,000 people that followed us within like 6 weeks. And the other Airbnb educators on that platform have millions. And we can do that pretty easily. Well, I shouldn't say simply, but it wouldn't be easy for us because I don't like the content doing it that way. So our channels is through podcasts and emails. We can do this all day long, and it's fun, and it's excitement, it's authentic, right? So you got to be authentic in it, because when we talk to, we're about to open up another class for Legends X soon. When we open that up, the people that listen to this podcast, the people that are on our email list that have been following us for years, they know who we are. They know what we stand for, what we deliver. When they reach out and talk to us, we have an authentic connection right away. Where on TikTok, we weren't getting that. We were getting a lot of people that were just kind of passing by. And, it's a different type of communication. So when we do this for Free Wild to find new properties, we're going to choose the channels that we actually enjoy to reach out. And a lot of that is going to be relationship building.
Yeah, 100%.
One-on-one relationship building.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a really good example as well, as I'm thinking about this, is my property manager in Colombia. He hates social media. Like I don't think he even has a Facebook profile, but he's crushing it in the city. He's like pretty much the largest operator. He's got over 30 units in that city, and what he does really, really well. He's got a blog. It's called Cali Adventurer. And he consistently, because he loves it, he consistently creates really good content around the city of Cali. So that was the first thing that I found when I Googled Cali, was like his articles. So immediately I'm thinking, oh, if I'm buying something there, like, oh, this guy knows everything about Cali, and he manages properties. So it was such a logical choice for me to work with him.
Yep. Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's part of the property abundance plan as well, right? Is like not only creating rhythms and habits of reaching out, educating, and then asking for business. It's also getting other people in your area to talk about you, right? And the way that we do this is through either articles, blogs, writings, all of that. We have to consistently, if we want to grow our business, and this is specifically for people who have a short-term rental business that want to grow, they want to continually to grow their business, right? That means we're constantly getting properties coming in on a consistent basis that fit our model. Our vision is the other part of Legends X that we help people with. But on the property side, like if we want to continue to grow, we have to have that engine that is bringing properties to us. Yes, eventually we can build out a sales team where we're reaching out to owners, we're reaching out to, the property and trying to get the property to come into us and close that. But that's a challenging thing to develop. We need people to do that, right? So the best way of doing it now is developing the property abundance plan of rhythms and habits to ask about it, getting writings about your business, educating your industry. So as you're getting properties coming in, we can take a portion of that revenue and then develop out the sales team, right? So that's like, and this is what we teach is like, let's develop the property abundance plan first. Once we get that up and running and rocking and rolling, and that's working as a machine, then we take revenue and build the sales team. We gotta pay people to come on board. We gotta train them. We gotta develop training for them. We gotta develop the sales process to get properties come in. And this is how all these companies really start growing. These short-term rental companies, especially Vacasa. Now they have millions of dollars put in Facebook ads and stuff like that. but they have a whole engine that brings properties to them, and then they have outbound as well. So everybody can get there, but we got to start slowly with rhythms and habits behind talking about our short-term rental business.
That's right. Choose your channel, create your action plan, your daily action plan, weekly action plan, monthly, and then go and give up, keep going. Like I remember when I started this podcast in 2014, it was just a hobby, and now we're running this educational company. So it's
so
awesome. The consistency that gets the results.
That's right. And that's with anything, right? That's with anything. If you want a freaking result, you got to be consistent. That's literally it.
That's right. All right. This is going to be a little bit of a short podcast because we're super busy.
Yeah.
We have a lot of stuff going on. And we're going to update the community as well in the next couple of weeks, what our plans are for 2022. Got a lot of stuff in store for 2022.
I can't wait for that podcast, man. Like, I can't wait to educate everybody what we're working on with Overnight Success, what we're doing with Free Wild. It's crazy that we're at this point. I know you got to bounce, but it's crazy that we're at this point where Overnight Success is growing like crazy. We're hiring a couple of people for that team. We just made our first offer on Free Wild to hire a high level individual to come into the company and start growing that company. We got a lot going on. We're going to buy more properties in 2022. We're going to build this property in Idlewild. And then Overnight Success, like, man, it's freaking blowing up. Like, the coaches that are coming on board for this, the programs, it's just, the mastermind, we're coming back with the mastermind again. So, it's freaking awesome, man. I love it. I can't wait for that update.
Absolutely. All right, man. Well, have fun in Idlewild, and we'll talk soon. And to everybody who's listening, thank you for listening. We'll be back on Monday and then on Friday. So enjoy your weekends.